all this actually possible if multiple VMs, if multiple VMs are running on single physical server. If multiple VM are running on physical server, single physical server, who manage them, right? The question is who manage them. So who decides how much CPU VM gets, or who allocates the memory, or who provides the storage and network. So the answer is software called hypervisor. So let's understand in the simple term. A hypervisor is a software layer. It is a software layer that creates, runs, and manage the virtual machines. So think of it as a manager. Think of it as a manager sitting between the physical hardware, sitting between the physical hardware and VMs. It is the manager who is sitting between the physical hardware and virtual machine. If you look at the diagram on these slides, if you look at this diagram on this side, right? So at the bottom we have physical layer. So this includes the server's CPU. What physical layer includes? CPU, memory, RAM, storage, NIC card. So these are the actual hardware resources available in the cell. Now directly above the hardware there is a hypervisor layer. So this is most important layer in the virtualized environment. The hypervisor communicates directly with the physical hardware. It communicates directly with the physical hardware and manage all the resources. Finally, at the top we have virtual machines. We have virtual machines. This virtual machine don't directly access the hardware. Instead, every request first goes to hypervisor. The hypervisor then decide how to use these physical resources and provide them each to virtual machine. So you can think of it like a school classroom. Imagine there is a one teacher and multiple students, and one teacher and there are multiple students. This is the example. If every student start asking question at the same time, right? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4? All the students started questioning at a single time. The teacher listens to everyone, manage the classroom, ensure each student get attention at the right time. Similarly, this hypervisor manages all the virtual machine. It manages all the virtual machines and ensures that every VM get resources. It needs every VM get resources when it needs without interfering with others. Now let's look at the responsibility of hypervisor mentioned on this slide. Look after the responsibilities. So the hypervisor decides how much processing power each virtual machine receive, right? If one VM needs more CPU, one VM needs more CPU for heavy application, so this hypervisor allocates this resource accordingly. So if one VM needs more CPU for heavy application, the hypervisor allocate resources accordingly while ensuring other VMs continues to function properly. So then there is a memory allocation. Second is memory allocation. So the physical server has fixed amount of RAM, right? It has fixed amount of RAM. The hypervisor divides the memory among different virtual machines. For example, one VM may receive 4 GB of RAM, another may receive 8 GB of RAM, and another may receive 16 GB of RAM depending on their requirement. Then there is a storage management. The hypervisor also manages storage. It creates virtual disk. It creates virtual disk for each VM, for each VM, and store them on physical storage device while keeping every VM data separate and secure. Then we have network management. Every virtual machines need network connectivity. This is as simple as that. Every VM needs the network connectivity. So the hypervisor creates virtual networking. It creates virtual network so that what we virtual machines can communicate with each other. It can communicate with each other without physical device and even without the internet. We will learn how VMware provides virtual switches and virtual networking in the practical session. Then we have resource isolation. One of the most important responsibility of hypervisor is resource allocation. Even though multiple VM shares same physical server, even though multiple VMs share same physical server, each VM operates independently. For example, if one VM crashes or become infected with the malware, it doesn't automatically affect the other VMs running on the same server. The isolation makes virtualization more secure, stable, and reliable. So to summarize, the hypervisor is the heart of virtualized environment. Without hypervisor, virtualization simply won't exist. It creates virtual machine, manages hardware resources, ensure isolation, and allows multiple OS to run on single physical server efficient. Now that we know what hypervisor is, the next question is, are all hypervisors same? So let's see in the next slide. Understand what a height of virtualization same. So the answer is no. Hypervisor are mainly divided into two types. Type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. So let's begin with type 1 hypervisor, also known as bare metal hypervisor. Why it is called bare metal? Because it is directly installed on physical hardware. There is no operating system like Windows or Linux installed before it. So hypervisor itself becomes the OS platform. So if you look at this slide, you will point says directly on hardware. This means hypervisor communicate directly with the server's CPU, memory, storage, and network device without depending on another OS. Now, you might wonder, why do companies prefer this approach? The answer is high performance. Since there is no extra operating system running in between, there is a very little overhead. As a result, server performs faster, resources are utilized more efficiently, and environment become more secure. It become more secure and stable. So that's why the second point says high performance. Because of these advantages, for type 1 hypervisor are commonly used in enterprise data centers. So where organization runs 100 or even 1000 of virtual machines. If a cloud provider, bank, cloud provider, hospitals, or MNC is building its virtualization infrastructure, they will generally use a type 1 hypervisor. Some common examples include VMware ESXi that we'll understand in next slide, then Microsoft Hyper-V and Zen. Among this, VMware ESXi is a hypervisor we'll be learning throughout this course. Then we have type 2 hypervisor, so also known as hosted hypervisor. Unlike type 1 hypervisor, this is not directly installed on OS. Not directly installed on OS. Let's understand with the example. Suppose we have Windows laptop. Suppose we have Windows laptop. First, Windows is installed, right? After that, you will install software like VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox. Inside that software, you will create the VMs. So the flow becomes so the flow becomes physical hardware, then Windows OS, then hypervisor, hypervisor, then virtual machine. So this is why it is called a hosted hypervisor. Since there is already an operating system running underneath, the hypervisor has to share resources with it. Because of this additional layer, because of this additional layer, type 2 hypervisor are generally slower than type 1 hypervisor. However, they are extremely useful for learning, testing, and software development, and running multiple operating system on the personal computer. That's why this slide mentioned use for testing and learning. So some common examples are VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox. Many student and professional use C using those tools to practice virtualization concepts on their own laptops before working with enterprise environment. Now that we have understood the foundation of hypervisors, it's time to get introduced to the company behind one of the world's most popular virtualization platform. Let's move to the next slide and learn about VMware. Now that we have understood virtualization and hypervisor, let's talk about the company behind one of the most popular virtualization platform is VMware. So VMware is one of the leading company in virtualization and cloud infrastructure. So trusted VMware build, manage, and optimize their IT infra. IT infra. So today VMware is used by banks, hospitals, IT companies, cloud providers, educational institute, and government organization because it helps them manage their infrastructure more efficiently. So let's look at what VMware actually helps organization achieve. The first point is server consolidation. That is, as we discussed earlier, separate instead of buying separate server for each new application, VMware allows multiple VMs to run on one single physical server, right? We've already understood that instead of buying a separate server for run on physicals, make better use of improved availability. Business cannot afford downtime. That is a simple agenda. Business cannot afford downtime. VMware provides enterprise feature that helps keep application available available even if there is a hardware issue occur, ensuring business continuity. So next is simplify management. So rather than managing every server individually, VMware allows VMware allows administrator to manage entire virtual infrastructure, manage virtual infrastructure from one centralized platform. From one centralized platform. This saves both what majorly time and efforts. So that is the benefit of simplify management. Another major advantage is reduce infrastructure cost. Since fewer fewer servers are required, few servers are required, organization saves money on hardware, electricity, hardware, electricity, cooling, as we already seen this, cooling, maintenance, and so reduce the infrastructure cost. Next is build private cloud. Many are in their own cloud environment within their data centers. Organization prefer creating their own secure cloud environment within their data center. Manage this cloud environment, right? They use both, that is on premises infra and cloud services. VMware helps integrate and manage those environment efficiently. So if we summarize this slide, VMware is much more than just virtualization software. It is a complete enterprise platform that helps organization optimize resource, reduce cost, improve availability, and prepare their infrastructure for modern cloud environment. Now that we have learned about VMware, the next question is, what product does VMware actually offers? Let's explore that in next slide. Now that we know what VMware is, and let's understand its important point. Many beginners think VMware is just a single software. It is just a single software, but that's not true. VMware offers complete portfolio of the products, and each product is designed for specific purpose. Each of their product is designed for specific purpose in enterprise environment. Let's briefly understand each one. So first product is VMware Workstation. This is desktop virtualization software. This is desktop virtualization software. It is mainly used by student developers, testers, and IT professionals to what? To create virtual VMs on their personal computers or on personal laptops. So I hope many of you have used VMware Workstation. So VMware Workstation is the great choice if you want to practice the virtualization. Next is VMware Fusion. So Fusion is similar to VMware Workstation, but it designed specifically for Apple macOS. It is specially designed for macOS. It allows Mac users to run virtual machines on their system. Moving on, we have VMware ESXi. This is one of the most important VMware product because it is a type 1 hypervisor. We have seen type 1 hypervisor. So ESXi is installed directly on physical server. It is installed directly on physical server and is responsible for creating and running virtual machine. Throughout this course, ESXi will be one of our prime area to focus. Next is VMware vCenter server. So if you have multiple ESXi, host in your organization, managing each one individually is difficult. Managing each one individually, it's very difficult. So vCenter server provides a centralized management. It provides a centralized management platform where administrator can monitor and manage entire VM environment from the single interface. So I hope you have understood VMware Workstation, VMware Fusion, VMware ESXi, and vCenter server. So nextly, we have VMware vSphere. So many people get confused between ESXi and vSphere. Remember, vSphere is not a single product. It's VMware Enterprise Virtualization Platform that combines product like ESXi, vCenter server to provide a complete virtualization solution. The next product is VMware vSAN. As the name suggested, vSAN is related to storage. It combines the storage of multiple servers into single storage system. to single storage system, making storage management simpler and more efficient. After that, we have VMware NSX. So, NSX is VMware's network virtualization solution. Network virtualization solution. It allows organization to create and manage virtual network. It allows organization to create and manage virtual network, improve security, and simplify network management within virtual environment. Finally, we have VMware Arise Suite. This suite provides tool for monitoring, automation, which provides tool for monitoring, automation, operation management, and performance utilization. It helps administration efficiently manage large enterprise infrastructure. As you can see, VMware is not just one single software, it is an ecosystem. It is a ecosystem. Ecosystem of the products, with each product serving a specific purpose. So in this course, our primarily focus will be on VMware vSphere, especially ESXi and vCenter server, because these are the core component used in enterprise virtualization. Now that we have explored the VMware product portfolio, let's understand what exactly VMware vSphere is and why it considered the foundation of enterprise virtualization. We have just explored the VMware product portfolio, where we saw that the product for vSphere is. So many beginners think vSphere is just another VMware software. That's not correct. So VMware vSphere is VMware Enterprise Virtualization Platform. In simple words, it is a complete solution, that helps organization build, manage, and maintain their their virtual infra. Virtual infra. So in simple words, it is complete solution that helps organization build, manage, and maintain their virtual infra. Now, if you look at this site, you will notice that vSphere contains two major components. The first is VMware ESXi. We have already discussed ESXi is a type 1 hypervisor. It is a type 1 hypervisor. It installed directly on physical server and responsible for creating and running virtual machine. This second component is VMware vCenter server. So while ESXi manage individual hosts, vCenter server provides centralized management platform. It allows administrator to manage multiple ESXi hosts, virtual machine, storage, networking, and other resources from a single interface. So you can think of it in this way, that ESXi creates and run virtual machines, while vCenter server manages entire environment. Right? So when those two components work together, they form VMware vSphere. So this combination provides organization with the complete enterprise virtualization platform that powerful, scalable, and easy to manage. Throughout this course, these two components, ESXi and vCenter server, will be our primary focus because they form the foundation of every VMware vSphere environment. Now that we know what VMware vSphere is, let's move one step further and understand how all those components are connected together by looking at vSphere architecture. Now that we have understood what VMware vSphere is, let's see how all its components work together in real enterprise environment. This diagram represents VMware vSphere architecture. Let's understand it from the top. We have VMware vSphere server. Firstly, think of this as a central management system. This is the central management system. Instead of logging in to every individual ESXi host, administrator can manage the complete virtual infrastructure from one place using vCenter. So just below it, you can see multiple ESXi hosts, that is host 1, host 2, host 3. So in this example, we have ESXi overall 3 hosts. Remember, ESXi host is simply just a physical server. It is just a physical server with the VMware ESXi hypervisor installed. Hypervisor installed on it. So each host has its own CPU. Each host, that is host 1, host 2, host 3, has its own CPU, memory, storage, network resource, and each one is capable of running multiple virtual machines. Now, if you look at the bottom of the diagram, you will notice several virtual machines running on the ESXi host, right? Are the several machines running on the ESXi host. Each virtual machine acts like an independent computer. All those machines act like a independent computer with its own operating system and application. For example, one virtual machine might be running web server. This virtual machine might be running web server. One might be running database, hosting database. Another might be functioning file server. Even though these virtual machines are running on the same physical host, they operate independently. Now, let's look at key components mentioned on the right side of the slide. I hope you have understood this architecture. Now that we have the architecture, let the core component. Think of system. Think of this as a building block of any system or building block of vSphere. So every VMware infrastructure is built upon this component. Let's go through one by one. First component is ESXi host. So this is a simply physical server. We have already seen this is simply a physical server with VMware ESXi hypervisor installed on it. It is responsible for running all the virtual machine. Without an ESXi host, we cannot create or run virtual machine. This second component is vCenter server. So if you have just one ESXi host, you can manage it directly. But in the enterprise environment, organization usually have multiple ESXi hosts. Managing each host separately would be time consuming. That's where vCenter server comes in. It provides a single platform to monitor, configure, and manage entire VMware environment from one place. Next, we have virtual machines. A virtual machine is nothing but a software based computer. It is a software based computer. It has its own operating system, CPU, memory, storage, network, just like a physical computer. This is where application and services actually run. The fourth component is data store. As the name suggests, data store is the storage location. It is a storage location where VMware keeps all the virtual machine files. This file includes the virtual hard disk, configuration files, snapshot, and other VM related data. Simply put, these virtual machines are the computers and data store is where all data is stored. Finally, we have virtual network. Just like physical computer need a network, this network to communicate, virtual machine also needs networking. They also need networking. The virtual network allows virtual machine to communicate with each other. To communicate with each other. each other, whether with physical device and even with the internet. So to summarize, ESXi host runs the virtual machine, vCenter server manages the environment, virtual machine runs the operating system and application, data store stores all virtual machine file, virtual networks connect everything together. So these five components form the foundation of every VMware vSphere environment. Now that we have understood the core component, let's move to the second slide and explore some of the powerful enterprise features that make VMware vSphere one of the leading virtualization platform in the world. Now that we have understood the core component of VMware vSphere, let's look at some of the powerful features that make it one of the most trusted virtualization platform in enterprise environment. These features, these key features, are the reason why organizations across the world choose VMware for managing the critical infrastructure. Let's briefly understand each feature in detail. So first is high availability, commonly known as HA. Imagine one of your physical servers suddenly fails. There is a sudden failure of to your physical server because of the hardware issue. Without high availability, all the virtual machine running on that server would become unavailable. With the VMware HA, those virtual machine can automatically restart on another healthy ESXi host, helping reduce downtime and keeping business service available. The next feature is vMotion. Sorry. Yeah. Next feature is vMotion. vMotion allows you to move running virtual machine from one ESXi host to another. It helps to move running VM from one ESXi host to another without shutting it down. Users don't even notice that the virtual machine has been moved on. This is extremely useful during the server maintenance and load balancing. Then we have storage vMotion. So just like vMotion moves a virtual machine between hosts, storage vMotion moves a virtual machine storage from one data store to another to another, again without interrupting the running virtual machine. Another important feature is distributed resource scheduler, or DRS. DRS continuously monitors CPU. It continuously monitors CPU and memory across multiple ESXi hosts and automatically balance workload. This ensures that no single host become overloaded while other remain underutilized. Next, we have fault tolerance. So, unlike high availability, which restarts the virtual machine after the failure, fault tolerance keeps second copy. This keeps second copy of the VM after the failure. So, it keeps the second copy of the virtual machine running simultaneously. If one host fail, the second one copy immediately continues running, providing almost zero downtime for critical application. Then we have resource pool. Oh god, sorry. Then we have resource pool. Resource pool allow administrator to group VM and allocate CPU and memory resource according to business priorities. This help organization manage resource more efficiently. This allows administrator to group virtual machine and allocate CPU and memories according to their business priorities. Then we have next feature, that is snapshot. So a snapshot captures the current state of virtual machine before making major changes like installing software, applying updates. Administrator often take a snapshot so that quickly restores the virtual machine if something goes wrong. Then we have templates. Templates, instead of installing an operating system, instead of installing OS every time you just create new virtual machine, you can create a template. These templates act as a master copy allowing new virtual machine to be deployed much faster. Then similarly, cloning allows you to create exact copy of existing virtual machines, saving both time and efforts. Then we have centralized monitoring. Using VMware tool like vCenter Server, administrator can monitor the health, performance, resource usage, and overall status of complete virtual infrastructure from the single dashboard. As we can see, VMware vSphere is much more than just creating the virtual machine. It provides powerful enterprise features that improve availability, simplify management, and optimize resources and ensure business continuity. In the upcoming session of the course, we'll explore each of these features detail with the practical demonstration. Now that you have seen the theoretical part of VMware vSphere, let's move to the final part of today's session and discuss the exciting career opportunities available for VMware professionals. So, in the starting of this lecture only, we have seen what are the particular career opportunities in this sector. So, now that you know that why VMware is such an important skill and the career opportunities it offers, let's take a quick look at the complete curriculum of this course. What we are going to see in the complete course. The course is designed for beginner as well as IT professional who want to build strong VMware administration skill. We will start from the fundamentals and gradually move towards enterprise level concept. We will begin with virtualization fundamental, where you will understand the core concept of virtualization and why it has become the backbone of modern data centers in detail. Once foundation is clear, we'll move to ESXi administrator, then we'll cover vCenter administrator, then storage management, networking configuration, virtual machine management, snapshot and templates, how to create the template. Then high availability, what is high availability, what is vMotion, what is resource pools, what are the best security practices, how to do troubleshooting, and enterprise administrator. So each and everything we are going to see both theoretical plus practical. So by the end of this course, you will have both theoretical knowledge and practical understanding required to confidently work with VMware vSphere in enterprise environment. Now let's move to the final slide and quickly summarize everything we have covered in today's session. So with that, we have reached the end of today's session. So this was just a demo session. We will nextly move towards the detailed course where you will understand so many things in detail practically also. So what we have learned in today's course, before we conclude, let's recap. We started with understanding what is virtualization, how it allows multiple virtual machines to run on single physical server. Then we compared traditional physical infrastructure and virtual infrastructure and saw why organizations shifted toward virtualization. After that, we have learned about hypervisor and understood the difference of type 1 and type 2 hypervisor. We were then introduced to VMware and explored its different products, including ESXi. We have seen ESXi, vCenter Server, then vSAN, and NSX. Next, we understood what VMware vSphere is, how its architecture is built using ESXi host, vCenter server, virtual machine storage, and networking. We also discussed some of the powerful enterprises feature of VMware. We have seen enterprise features. Then finally, we took the career opportunities available in this field. I hope this session has given you the clear understanding of what VMware vSphere is and what you will be learning throughout this training. This was just a beginning. From the next session onward, we'll start exploring each topic in much greater detail and practical demonstration and real world example. So thank you for joining the session. I'll see you in the next lecture. With that, we have come to the end of this introductory session. I hope this demo lecture has given you clear understanding of what VMware vSphere is and why it is so important and what you can expect from this complete course. Remember, today's session was just an introduction. The real learning begins from the next lecture, where we will start exploring virtualization in much greater depth. We'll understand the concept, benefits, real world case, and the problem virtualization solves in modern IT environment. Building a strong foundation here will make all the upcoming VMware topics much easier to understand. So, if you are excited to build a career in virtualization, system administration, cloud computing, and enterprise infrastructure, I encourage you to continue with the course and follow each lecture in sequence. Thank you so much for watching this demo session. I truly appreciate your time and I hope to see you in the complete VMware vSphere administration course. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a good day.